The Our Flag campaign by the woke left-wing lunatics is in full swing in Ireland. And what is the Our Flag campaign exactly? The Our Flag campaign is a campaign to reclaim the Irish flag from the far right, the big bad far right. That's racist, homophobic, transphobic, xenophobic, heterophobic, all those phobics. And racist as well on top of it. Did I forget racist? Of course, they're racist. Now, the woke left along with the Irish government have come together, which means that it is a psyop. Whenever you see the Irish government and left-wing politicians come together, or any politicians for that matter of fact, it is a psyop, 100%. Today we have a transgender man who transitioned from a woman to a man, which is rare. Normally it's a man transgendering to a woman and then they go and compete in the Olympic Games. Okay. Talking to us today about the history of Ireland and specifically the history of the Irish tricolour. She says, the history is clear. The Irish flag is a symbol of unity, not division. Let's watch.
Irish tricolour with its green, white and orange bands was designed to tell the story of this island. A story of Aontacht, which is unity in Irish. The green band of our flag is to represent the oldest traditions that we have on this island. The orange is to represent those who arrived later on. And the powerful white band in the middle is to stand for Síocháin, which is peace. And it's
that is wrong. What the fuck is that guy talking about? What the hell are you talking about, young lady? What the hell are you talking about, young lady? That is completely 100% wrong. For those who have lived in this country their whole entire lives and are actually Irish like myself, the green is for the Republic, the orange is for the North, and the white is for peace between them both. The orange isn't to represent like immigrants coming over from Somalia to wreck the place. Like, what the hell are you talking about? What is this person talking about? This is so stupid. Again, they are changing the narrative. This is what the mainstream media and these woke lefty NGOs do. They take an original narrative, an actual fact, and they misrepresent it enough times and they actually distort reality. They distort reality in real time to brainwash you, the Irish public.
Place there to have peace between us all in our country. Lately, the symbol of our flag is being pushed forward as a division and separation when it was put in place for Aontacht agus Síocháin, which is unity and peace. Join the hashtag OURFLAG campaign by just simply taking a photo with the flag with rather friends, family, alone or with colleagues even, and share your story of hope and inclusion. Let us reclaim the tricolour and proudly fly our flag for the symbol of peace and unity, what it was actually entailed for, not separation and division. We are stronger as unity than we are divided. Thank you.
So this girl and also Dill Pickle, the woman from Sri Lanka, are both in this Our Flag campaign together, promoting it endlessly on social media. Reclaim the Irish flag. You know, the far right, they're the worst people ever. You know what they did that was so bad? They put the flag up on poles, on lamp posts around the city, around Dublin, Galway, Cork, Limerick. And they actually showed the people, this is Ireland. We're not going to be taken over by the woke left, by these degenerates, guys. Nothing to do with anti-immigration, nothing to do with anything. It's a proud symbol of patriotism, in my personal opinion. And the left freaked out. The Irish government got mad. This is the globalist 2030 WEF agenda that is being driven on the people of this country. They want you to hate yourself. They want you to hate your fellow Irish man and woman. They want you to become this multicultural melting shit pot and nothing to do with Irish culture or heritage ever again in this country. They want to destroy this country from within. And these people are getting paid in the millions, in the billions by these NGOs, by these massive government funded bodies to promote this nonsense. Now also, this guy appeared in a show recently, an 8-part show called Dinner with the Enemy. What this show did was bring people from vastly different backgrounds, people on the right, more conservative, people on the left, more lunatics, kamikaze, these weird, crazy crackpots all over Ireland, and put them actually into a center discussion around a table and having dinner with each other, discussing their different ideas. The show itself, and I knew this to begin with, was a bit of a psyop, but what I didn't learn was later on, now watching it back a few times, some of the things that I really want to point on, guys. This show was completely brainwashing, complete slop from the mainstream media. Nothing to do to promote conservative ideology whatsoever or give a fair take of the situation. And I want to talk about other people in this show that I didn't really get to talk about too much, guys. And not to be hating on anybody on the right, but we'll talk about it at the end. It seemed almost like people were being a bit castrated or at least suppressed. Or at least that's what the editing of the show made it seem like. People like Ben Scallon were on the show. People like Taya Mercer were on the show. It seemed like these two conservative guys, along with Stephen Kelly, were giving their conservatively based ideas, but it seemed almost like their ideas were being a bit suppressed. It seemed like the entire show was trying to make you accept trans ideology. Nothing to do with anything else. Watch this, guys.
Came into this experiment, I did the worst thing that I said I'd never do, and I judged books by their covers. And I couldn't believe it then to come out from day one to where we are now, to hear so many different opinions, and for once, not one of them being negative towards me or my story, which has impacted me in a way that I can't even articulate to you guys.
We love you.
I love you. I love you so much.
I came in like Ben with particular views. I think the most thing I've been changed on is Jacob. Jacob taught me more about the trans community in the last couple of days than I've learned in my entire life, and going forward I would be more conscious of that.
I suppose I've learned to take down this kind of persona. I've been kind of very quiet and reserved. I think when I opened up, you liked me better. I'm blown away by you. Honestly, Jacob, you've just been amazing. I have never met a transgender man before, or a transgender girl, and I'm just blown away. I've learned so much.
I appreciate that so much. Yeah, 100%.
I see things a lot differently, and I probably will stand up more for people transgender and things that have gone on between the table. I think I've learned a lot from them.
I don't feel like I'm ever going to have a conversation the same way again after this whole experience. I feel like for the rest of my life, anytime I'm discussing the trans issue, I'll have Jacob at the back of my mind.
They could have just came in here and kept their opinions where they were, but they didn't. They gave me a space to open, to grow, to listen, to share, to learn. I'll never be able to thank them enough.
Now, here's the thing about that, guys, okay? Just a few things I've noticed from watching that back a couple of times. They got all the right-leaning people, Stephen Kelly, that lady there as well, that white lady that was talking there. They also got Ben Scallon from Grip Media. Shout out to Grip Media, of course. Big love to them. But they got all these conservative people to basically change their thought, and they basically highlighted that on the show. Now, obviously, the show is clipped in many different ways. I can't just presume a judgment by this 30-second clip or whatever. That's obviously not what I'm trying to do here. But definitely Virgin Media television show, this Dinner with the Enemy, is trying to promote trans ideology. And it's trying to promote it in like this way, okay, it should be normal. Now, I think that everyone is normal, okay? I think that everybody should have rights. Everyone is the same, gay, trans, bisexual, whatever you guys want to be yourselves, you know what I mean? That's grand. But at the same time, like, it seems to me like a little bit like, well, why didn't they say, like, I still find it a bit strange? It was like completely 100% unequivocally, oh, trans people are great. Well, let's not go that far. I do think it's a bit of a odd, strange thing. Like, there's a girl in the gym, she's more masculine. You know, she has short hair, she's very pretty. She's more like I would call a tomboy, and I really like her. She looks great. You know, tomboys are great, guys. You know, tomboys are great people. But this whole trans thing, it kind of takes it a step further. My cousin growing up was a tomboy. She was into sports more than me. She wore like men's jeans and that kind of stuff. More masculine, absolutely. Men should be allowed to be more masculine and men should be allowed to be more feminine. Now, the problem is this, lads. When you start chopping off your genitals, you start doing all this radical stuff, it gets to a point where it's like, well, maybe a lot of this stuff might be mental health. A lot of this stuff might be abuse when you were younger, sexually abused when you were a kid. A lot of this stuff isn't just clean cut, oh, you're just born trans. It's like, is there a transgender gene? Is there a gay gene? Like, this is what Tucker Carlson asked Piers Morgan the last day. Are we now meant to accept unequivocally 100% that it's okay to be trans? Like, I would say no, guys. I would say no. I'm not going to accept this ideology for being normal. Completely normal. This person, Jacob, seems like a normal person. I don't know their background. I just watched the 30-second clip. Like I said before, I'm not a bigot. But at the same time, guys, I'm not going to accept something so radical just by hearing 30-second clips or watching an hour-long show every Monday for the last 8 weeks. That's not really going to make me change my mind. Of course, Ben, Tayem, Stephen Kelly, the right-leaning guys, they had more time to spend with this Jacob guy, and I take their word for it. I'm sure the guy's a great guy. But at the same time, guys, I'm not sure every single person who is trans is a good person. Let's look at Barbie Kardashian. Okay, Barbie Kardashian is a violent criminal that went to jail for a few years and subsequently is a psychopath. We know for certain that this Barbie Kardashian is a freak and they're trans. Just because you're a good person from a different background doesn't mean there aren't other crackpots from your background. I'm sure there's amazing people, and I've met them, from Africa, Arabic countries. I've lived in Arabic countries. It's absolutely beautiful. These countries are amazing, in Africa, in the Middle East. Now, do I want hundreds of thousands of illegal people coming over to Ireland? No! There's nuance there. Because some great Emirati sheikh comes over to Ireland to live for a few months and a few years, and he's preaching and he's giving a good message, doesn't mean I want some crackpot farmer, some ISIS radicalized psychopath from Afghanistan coming to Ireland. You see, there's these nuances that this show doesn't really show. There are some trans people that are weird. There are some gay people that are weird, that are predatory. Everybody from different backgrounds isn't a good person, okay? Most people are, absolutely. But there are predators in every group of people, guys. And to just say, oh, well, every trans person is good and we should push this on the kids and we should just let it become mainstream. No, we shouldn't let it become mainstream, because then couples won't be having kids, and it's just this whole thing about biology, and it's a whole just another conversation, which is crazy. So yeah, this show was a complete psyop. I like the people on it that were right-leaning. Taya Mercer, great guy. First time I ever got to see him. Ben Scallon, been following him for years. Amazing guy. Stephen Kelly, first time I've ever watched that guy. Great lad. Everyone's a great lad on the right. But at the same time, for them to just be saying like, okay, well, for the show just to be clipping it up and making it seem like they 100% agree with everything this person says, Jacob says, it's a bit misleading. That's all I'll say. Here we have a black guy explaining to us why the UK should be predominantly white, okay? This is the whole immigration debate. Very, very well said by this guy. Let's hear what he says.
UK be predominantly white?
No, why would we be predominantly white?
Because it's the UK, it's Europe. Africa is predominantly black and they probably want to keep it that way. South America is predominantly Hispanic or Latino and they probably want to keep it that way. Asia is predominantly Asian and they probably want to keep it that way. It's only white people in the West that have been taught to be scared, to say they want their culture and ancestry preserved like everyone else does.
Very well said. Why is it only white people that are called racist, bigots, Nazis, when they're like, okay, well, we want our culture to be preserved. We want this heritage to be preserved. Like when I go out the house, I don't want it to be looking like South Sudan, some war zone. Okay, why is it only us that taught this?
Everyone else can stand up for where they're from, but when white people do it, oh, it's white supremacy. No, but white people today should be made to feel bad and give up their continent for something that they didn't even do. Even if the thing that they didn't do was done worse and more by other races.
So he's talking about slavery. Like actually in America, they actually had like millions of people die in the Civil War to free slaves, to free black slaves. So white people have died in the millions to try and save black, Arabic, people from Egypt, North Africa, that kind of thing as well, from slavery. And Egypt have the longest slave trade ever of all time. Matter of fact, in Indonesia, in East Asia, guys, they have horrific slave trade. Bangladesh, parts of India, like they have horrific slave trade. That's happening to this day. There's actually more slaves in the world now than there was ever in the world. A lot of people don't know that.
No one said Europe should be an all-white ethno-state. We can all acknowledge that's too far,
yes.
But majority white, yeah.
100% agree with the last point, and this is the nuance I want to explain to everybody. Like, there's a few ethno-nationalists in Ireland, and I actually truly believe, I have to say, guys, they're a bit retarded. Like, this whole idea that everyone has to be 100%, what is it, like, Irish Celtic history, that's bullshit, guys. Irish Celtic ancestry, that's nonsense. Most people, if they were to do Ancestry.com, 23andMe, a genetic linear testing about your ancestors and your DNA, it would probably turn up that you're a European of some sort, something like that. Like, I'm half Irish, half European. So it's a little bit unfair to be saying to people, we want 100% ethno-state. That's bullshit, guys. I actually think that's kind of crazy. Now, can you have the majority of people? Absolutely. 90, 80, 70, whatever the percentage is, guys, whatever you think the percentage should be, it should be high. Like in Nigeria, it's 99% of people Nigerian, okay? 1% foreign. Now, in the Middle East, in Dubai, it's like 90% foreign, 10% locals, 10% Emiratis, locals. But they run the country very well in these countries in the Middle East. Like, you get a free house as an Emirati if you live in Dubai. If you're Arabic and you live in Dubai and you're born and raised there, you get a free house, free car, 50,000 euros per year. They treat you very well. So there's a give and a take when it comes to immigration. Like, having a complete ethno-state is dumb. Obviously, nobody wants that. But to actually adhere to people's culture and heritage so you can integrate properly, that's what people want here, guys. Just not a complete, just crackpot crazy running around like a flipping nutcase, turning this place into a war zone hellhole that they came from. Like, I don't want 10 million people coming from Sri Lanka. Like, that just wouldn't sit the actual views of the people in Ireland. Matter of fact, which is kind of funny, is it's funny how this black dude is actually so based. And this is one thing I've noticed, guys, and I keep saying this to piss off the Irish people, because it should piss you off, really. All the foreign people, Eastern Europeans, Latin Americans, you talk to Africans, you talk to Arabic people, they're all based. Only these woke left, bisexual, lesbians, transgender, they're all Irish white. Like, it's just crazy. It's actually a crazy concept to wrap your head around. Like, but literally you ask a foreign person here, oh, bro, like, do you think there should be like this LGTB parades every month? Dude, they don't agree with any of that shit. They're the most right-leaning people ever. Like, people think that, like, you're racist because you're from Eastern Europe or you're from Europe, you know, against other people. It's not that you're against other people. It's just that you're pro your own people and you want to keep the place somewhat looking a resemblance of what it used to be, you know, 100 years ago. But let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, guys. And finally, we get to the piece de resistance. We get to shit on Somalians. Why? Because it's funny. Let's watch.
Let me give you a few reasons as to why it's an absolute hellhole. The average IQ, in the States we do pretty well. We're not as high as some nations like Japan, right? But it's about 97.4 right there in the center of the bell curve. Somalia, the average IQ is 67.
Oh.
70 is retarded.
Sorry, retarded.
Oh, that's perfect. Dude, Steven Crowder is a legend. That is 70. Holy shit. So the average national IQ of... Wait a second. The average national IQ of Somalia is 67. That's barely sentient. That's like, you're like a cucumber. That's like barely sentient. What's the IQ of a dolphin? That's like that, like the IQ of an elephant, the IQ of a dolphin, the IQ of these like savanna animals are actually higher than these people. Holy shit. And in the US, they're just flooding them in. 90% of them are on welfare. They come to Ireland, 90% of these people are on welfare. They're from the savannah, they're from the Serengeti. They are drinking water from the same lake that the lions and the flippin' hippopotamus is drinking water from. They're deranged, guys. And we're just letting them flood in. They're eating flipping the small animals here. They're eating the cats and dogs. They're eating the squirrels, the rabbits. If they see some roadkill, that's dinner. Like, they're just throwing shit on the grill. I mean, this is a crazy situation we have in the Western world now. We're just flooding these people in.
70 or less is legally retarded. Oh boy. The average IQ of Somalia is the equivalent to a legal retard in the United States.
You wanted to use functionally, but you
it's
pulled back.
Not even really functional. It's just the legal threshold.
Jesus.
And by the way, some of that is because of malnourishment. That's a huge component of it. Also inbreeding, we'll get to that. But life expectancy in Somalia is 54 years.
Ooh, I think it's like 84 in Ireland. 54 years. That's pretty low.
54 years. And the country has been at war for 4 decades.
40 years they've been at war, you know, crazy. They have a crazy high population as well. Like in Nigeria, guys, they have 230 million people. Okay, Nigeria is a safe country. It's not dangerous. East Nigeria with Boko Haram, they have a terrorist killing, I think, 100,000 Christians, which is not good. Okay, but most of Nigeria, like, you could go there for a holiday. Like, you're not going to get hurt or killed or anything like that, right? Especially if you're like a foreigner. You're probably not going to have the best time. You're probably going to have to pay off the police and stuff. But, you know, you're not going to get killed. It's going to be okay. But the problem with Nigeria is, like, they have 230 million people. They actually have a birth rate similar to Ireland, like 2%, a little bit higher, like 2%. But the craziest thing is, their population is the same population of Ireland, and it doubles every year. So 5 million in 2025, 5 million in 2024, 5 million newborn people every single year. They have 4.8 million newborn people every single year in Nigeria. Okay, their population is exploding. It's actually scary, their birth rate, guys. So whenever anyone tells you that Irish people are hating on minorities, Irish people are minorities. There's only about 3 million of us left in Ireland. Only about 3 million. I'm not even fully Irish. So let's call me half Irish. So let's give me a 0.5%. What is that? 2 million people of Irish descent left in Ireland? There's 230 million Nigerians, or there's millions of people from other countries, guys. Don't be thinking that when people come here, they're the minority. We are the minority. Okay, we're talking worldwide. I don't want to hear this bullshit about, oh, people are minorities. Nah, bullshit, guys. Irish people are a minority in this world. Bullshit.
4 decades. Gosh. I mean, compare that to the 12-day war. Like, that's a long war, and it's just always a stalemate because everyone has an IQ of 67 or less. Or I should say the average.
Average, that's true.
And then you end up with huge swaths of these people in a place like Minneapolis, St. Paul.
How? I want to know why they went from hot to, like, very cold.
Yeah. It's bonkers.
Well, it's by design. Another thing, too, by the way.
The worst place to choose, really.
Also, when they come here, please check their bags because 3 of the deadliest snakes in the world, they're also found in Somalia. So the puff adder, the Somali carpet viper, and the black mamba, those are in Somalia. And they're no joke.
I've seen snakes on a plane. I know this guy.
Yeah, exactly. And by the way, just so you, how is their IQ? So, well, malnourishment, of course. But half of Somalis show genetic signs of inbreeding. Oh, no. If you actually look at this, there's a lot of inbreeding. By the way, this is very common across Islamic nations across the world, and that also contributes significantly to lower IQ.
It does.
And when you have an IQ rate that is that low, that is functionally retarded, you don't need to have a nation filled with geniuses, but you need to have a baseline level of average IQ that allows for innovation, that allows for basic functions of society to be performed. That can't happen with an IQ of 67. It can't happen when they are inbreeding with no signs of stopping. And
a lot of like the Middle East is inbreeding as well because they're not allowed to marry outside the religion. So, you have to marry somebody from down the village. And in Ireland, guys, we have some bad inbreeding, centuries ago. A lot of people here, have special needs, that kind of thing, which is perfectly fine. But a lot of that can be attributed to, a lot of the stuff that we have here, cystic fibrosis, can be attributed to things like inbreeding. A lot of this stuff, actually, a lot of these horrendous diseases. Now, I'm not saying Irish people have to marry people from Japan, but it would be good to actually, marry people that aren't your neighbor,
Again, please don't forget, Ilhan Omar is no stranger to this. She married her brother. Yeah, you have the marriage certificate.
That's crazy.
And you think about this.
It's so damning.
These Somalis here, and people get, I can't believe you would say this, they're just as American as you. No, they're not.
No.
They're not. Well, why do you say they're not as American as you? Well, my parents were born here. My dad's parents were born here. His parents were born here. We've been here for a long time. We speak the language. We contribute.
You adopted the culture.
Yeah, we don't bang our cousin.
You don't.
We don't. That's part of our culture here. We treat our animals well.
They eat the animals. They eat the small animals. Anyways, I'm going to leave it there, guys. Let me know your thoughts on that. I love you all. If you want to support me, hit the join link underneath the video. Become a member today for just €3 per month. And I will see you all in the next one, lads. Peace.